Hi, my name's John. Welcome to part 7 in a series of short videos all about the metal turning lathe. Tonight I want to talk about work holding methods in the lathe. As we've already discussed, the metal turning lathe, the part turns, the tool stops still for 99.9% of the operations. You do get tool post grinders, but that's a completely different affair. This is a 3-jaw chuck. It's probably the most common chuck that's fastened onto the headstock of a lathe. This is quite a new chuck, it's quite an accurate chuck. I would expect a 3-jaw chuck to give an accuracy of probably 5 thou on its full range. 5 thou is more than accurate enough if you're making a part from scratch. If you're turning a piece of bar down to make that one part on the one setting, 5 thou run out's nothing. 50 thou run out wouldn't really matter. Where you come into problems is if you want to put something in there and machine it down to a diameter, and you've got to leave the original diameter the way it was. This is a piece of ground steel bar. It's accurately ground. The 3-jaw chuck has 3 jaws as well as 3 parts where the chuck key goes to close it. One of them will have a 0-1. That's the master one. That's the one that the chuck was locked up on when the jaws were ground, so we're locking up on that one. If we run the lathe up, that looks fairly true. We'll put a clock gauge on it. Bring the camera in so you can see better. Right, that chuck is only showing 2 thou run out because it is an accurate chuck, and the chuck is set up for that particular piece of bar. If you wanted to machine something out of that piece of bar, that's more than accurate enough. If you wanted to machine that, say take 20 thou off there, or half a mil off there, and be concentric with that diameter there, it wouldn't be, because you've still got the 2.5 thou run out. So if you need to put something in a chuck to run dead accurate, you need to use a 4-jaw chuck. The chances are your chuck won't be as good as this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put something in and make sure that it does run out. Piece of aluminium stock here. Right, so that's running out quite considerably. It's not concentric at all. It's running out probably 6 mil or 1/4 inch. Now if you wanted to machine something out of this part here, you could quite happily machine it as long as it was machined down to below the diameter of the run out. I'll fire the lathe up and show you what I mean. Right, so you can see that it's running out quite a long way. But now, all of a sudden, those 3 diameters are running concentric. That part is running dead true. You can face the end off. Just change the tool to see how to move the camera. So that part is dead true, irrespective of how badly worn the chuck is. If that was the only part you wanted to machine, you could cut that off from there and that will be the job finished. You can drill it, it will drill to the true centre of the lathe, not the centre of the bar. If however you wanted to machine this part of the bar and you tried to grip it on there in this chuck with that spacer in, it will be a mile out of tooth. That's where you'll need a 4-jaw chuck. I'll run it up again. As you can see, all the faces on there are running through and the bar is running a mile out. What you can also do is grip things on the outside of these jaws. That bearing race could go on there like that, and by opening the chuck you could grip it onto there that way. So it is quite a versatile piece of kit, as long as all you want to do is one operation. This is quite a big chuck because it's quite a biggish lathe. The chuck jaws come out, and I would say once you get to that point there where you can see the teeth on the lathe chuck, that's enough. Don't take them out any further than that because you're running the risk of chipping the drive teeth off the chuck jaws. So you need to hold a bigger piece of bar than that. You simply take the jaws out. When the chucks are new, they come with 2 sets of jaws. You come out like that. And the jaws have got numbers on. Number 3, number 1, number 2. So we've got a set of outside jaws. See the difference between the inside and outside jaw. So to put the chuck jaws in, we'll start off with number 1, which is always the last one you pick up. We'll find number 1 on here, which is that one. If you turn it and look carefully, you'll see the start of the screw will come round. That's it there. So that engages on jaw number 1. Then you need number 2. So that one goes in like that. And the last one, number 3. Once again, 1 tooth sticking out, so now you can grip something that diameter. Or that diameter, or even that diameter. Which makes the 3-jaw chuck quite versatile for gripping different diameters of workpiece. I hope you gained something from that short video. I got a bit more involved in the 3-jaw chuck than I was expecting to, which just means I'll have to do another video on the 4-jaw chuck, and then we can do collet chucks, face plates, turning between centres. Work holding is a massive part of lathe work. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tonight I'm going to talk about work holding methods. 3-jaw, 4-jaw chucks, faceplate, collet chucks. There's a multitude of different devices used to hold metal in the fucking lathe.